Hello and welcome to Catholic Focus. I'm Maureen Kimani, joined by our sign language interpreter, Charity Ngema. Here are the headlines making news today. Leaders have issued a stern warning to young people against being used as instruments of violence, urging them to reject political manipulation and instead become ambassadors of peace. They also cautioned against the misuse of social media to spread hate speech and called on political leaders to respect places of worship, saying the pulpit should never be used as sow division, but rather foster unity, reconciliation, and peaceful coexistence. Take a listen.
Let anyone recruit your voice, recruit your keyboard or your energy into the work of division. Your future as a young person depends on the peace you choose to build today. To every citizen of this great Republic of Kenya, guard your tongue. Guard your tongue and guard your timeline. Report hate speech when you encounter it. Refuse to share it. Refuse to amplify it. And refuse to let it define how you see your fellow Kenyan. To fellow faith leaders across the mosques, the churches, the temples, and the shrines, let us continue to speak with one voice so that the pulpit and the minbar remain places of healing, not platforms for political divisions. And with that, I would also want to say that every other political actor should respect every other government agencies, including the NCIC, ensuring that we talk to NCIC with a lot of respect and decorum and supporting the work that they do, because that is the reason why they were formed.
The NCIC and IRCK underscore that Kenya's unity is non-negotiable. Proactive, coordinated, and courageous action now will significantly reduce the risk of violence and help deliver a peaceful, inclusive, and credible electoral process in our country. Therefore, we call upon political leaders, aspirants, media practitioners, citizens, and all stakeholders to reject hate speech, ethnic profiling, and violence, and to prioritize issues of development, justice, and shared prosperity.
Kenya's justice sector has launched sweeping reforms aimed at strengthening the fight against sexual and gender-based violence, accelerating digital transformation and improving access to justice across the country. Speaking during the 38th National Council on the Administration of Justice Council meeting in Mombasa, Chief Justice Martha Koome said the reforms will prioritize amendments to the Sexual Offences Act, enhance coordination among justice institutions, and leverage technology to deliver faster, more efficient justice services. Our reporter Nancy Kajuju has more details.
The reforms form part of the justice sector's broader strategy to build a more responsive, efficient, and people-centered justice system capable of addressing emerging legal and governance challenges. Chief Justice Martha Koome said reviewing the Sexual Offences Act will strengthen the legal protections for survivors of sexual and gender-based violence while closing gaps that have hindered effective prosecution of the offenders.
Over the next 2 days, we will also consider several strategic reforms that build upon this shared vision. Among them is the draft Sexual Offences Amendment Bill, which has been on the table for quite a while. It seeks to strengthen our collective response to sexual and gender-based violence, which is endemic, systemic, and very complex. It is also growing in numbers and deeply disturbing incidences, and the increasing incidences of femicide. This conversation demands coordinated legislative, policy, and institutional interventions if we are to provide meaningful protection to victims and ensure accountabilities for the perpetrators.
She noted that the justice sector is also investing in digital transformation to modernize court operations, improve case management, and expand access to justice through technology-driven services. Chief Justice Martha Koome also addressed concerns affecting motorists, calling for closer collaboration among justice sector agencies to improve the handling of traffic-related offences and disputes. She said reforms are aimed at promoting fair, efficient and transparent enforcement of traffic laws while reducing delays in the administration of justice.
We will also review progress towards the operationalization of instant traffic fines, a reform that is intended to promote efficient enforcement of traffic laws while ensuring fairness, consistency, and due process. What we want is convenience to our motorists, and what we want is a safe environment for our motorists. And if properly implemented, it has the potential to improve compliance, reduce unnecessary litigation, and contribute to safer roads.
She further raised concern over the growing threat of wildlife crime, noting that it continues to endanger Kenya's biodiversity, tourism industry, and local livelihoods. Koome called for stronger coordination among justice and law enforcement agencies to ensure wildlife offenders are brought to justice.
So what we are going to do about the wildlife crime is to recognize that it threatens biodiversity, undermines tourism, fuels organized criminal networks, and poses significant national security risk. Wildlife crime requires a coordinated response from investigation through prosecution to adjudication.
As the National Council on the Administration of Justice meeting continues in Mombasa, attention now turns to implementation. From tackling sexual and gender-based violence to combating wildlife crime, the key question remains whether these reforms will deliver timely justice and strengthen public confidence in Kenya's justice system. Reporting for Catholic Focus, Capuchin TV, I'm Nancy Kajuju.
Moving on, teenage and young mothers in Murang'a County are being given a second chance to rebuild their lives through education and skills training, thanks to an initiative that allows them to return to school without worrying about childcare. The program, launched by the 360 Climate Foundation in Mathare, has established a daycare center where children are cared for while their mothers attend classes and pursue their dreams of economic independence. Here's our reporter, Deborah Bahati, with that story.
For many young mothers, motherhood often marks the end of their education and career aspirations. But in Murang'a County, a new initiative is changing the narrative. Under the Cha Mama program, the 360 Climate Foundation has created a safe childcare center that enables young mothers to return to school, acquire vocational skills, and work towards a better future for themselves and their children.
It is a very impressive initiative because it is an opportunity given to young girls when they get children and they need opportunities. They are able to come to this place with their children. Their children will be taken care of and they will continue with their learning. I've also realized there are many courses that are offered in this institute.
There are many people, many young girls in our communities today who are now at home. The reason is because the community are no longer thinking about them or attending to their needs and cannot be able to continue with their studies. And as we may know, this is one of the first institutions in our country that has found a space where girls who have gone on to become pregnant in their studies can have a space to come to study, but also that they can nurse their children within the institution.
The foundation's founder, the chairperson, Hannah Murithi, says the daycare center is part of a broader youth empowerment program aimed at removing barriers and to prevent young mothers from continuing their education. She notes that many girls who become mothers at a young age are forced to abandon their studies due to childcare responsibilities, and by providing a safe place for their children during class hours, the program is giving them the opportunity to complete their education and become financially independent. Murithi emphasized that becoming a mother should never mean the end of a young woman's dream.
We are excited because when you give these mothers a chance to learn a skill, to earn a decent living, you also give the child a chance to grow well, to go to school, and also become a noble person. This institute has many courses we are teaching, starting with the compulsory ones: climate change and environmental stewardship, AI, computer skills, entrepreneurship, and all the other vocational skills, some taking 6 months, some taking 1 year.
She called an organization development partner and well wishes to replicate similar initiatives across the county, noting that thousands of young mothers are still in need of such support. She also revealed plans to expand the program to Nyandarua County, where the foundation has identified a significant number of young mothers who could benefit from the initiative. Stakeholders attending the lounge welcomed the program, saying it offers hope and a fresh start for young mothers while promoting educational empowerment and social inclusion.
Having Child Mama program here helps be able to bring that gap in that they can be able to learn and the child can be able to be taken care of. So overall, it's going a long way to be able to create employment, and through getting employment, we'll be able to create a productive economy, productive Kenya. So,
reporting for Catholic Focus, Deborah Bahati.
In other news, women across Kenya have been urged to actively seek elective and leadership positions to ensure they have a stronger voice in shaping policies and decisions that affect their lives and the country's development. The call was made during a leadership mentorship forum bringing together aspiring women leaders from 5 counties. Our reporter Susan Bulemi has the details.
Busia Deputy Governor Arthur Odera identified gender-based violence as one of the biggest barriers preventing many women from pursuing leadership, urging them to remain courageous and resilient.
The threat of gender-based violence stops many women because women are more vulnerable physically. The threat of especially physical violence affects women, some of whom may have the ambition but cannot even declare, because they look at it and decide, this is too much for me, I don't want to do. And I've had a case that, because of the vulgarity of it, I'll not go into the words, where somebody in Meru, a woman, went to declare her candidature for a certain seat, and she had to literally run away because of the barrage of words that she was accosted with. Such and more. Number 2, the actual meting out of violence to women, emotional violence, verbal violence, physical violence, stops them from optimizing their potential. Some of them retreat out of fear, some of them are chased away, and therefore they cannot campaign as they would want to.
Meanwhile, Nandi Deputy Governor Dr. Unita Cheruyot cited societal discrimination, cultural beliefs, and traditional practices among the key challenges women continue to face in their quest for leadership.
Most of our communities in Kenya are largely patriarchal. We have been socialized to believe or to know that leaders are men, because we grew up seeing our leaders on the forefront as men. So what the Constitution, the 2010, has enabled us to appreciate is the fact that we are all equal. And that also now, when it became difficult to, when it was still a long way from us appreciating that women can also lead, the aspect of the 2/3 gender rule was brought in to just cure that disparity, that imbalance.
The leaders called for greater support and mentorship to empower more women to participate in leadership and nation building.
Changamoto yangu ni saizi tunaambia wanawake chukueni uongozi. Wanawake wachanga ambao wanataka kuchukua uongozi wanaona wale wako mbele yao wanavurugwa, nyumba zao zinachomwa. Sasa hiyo ni changamoto kubwa sana, manake kuna uoga tayari uoga imeingia. So hiyo ni changamoto sana. Ingawa tunaambia kujeni, tutawashika mkono, tutatembea nanyi. Unaona hata tumeleta deputy governor Nandi, deputy governor Busia ili kuwaonyesha wasiogope uongo.
We want a community or a society free of violence. We are committed to make sure that the security of this country, especially this county of Busia, is safe, where everybody will be safe, everybody will be able to do his business or her business without any fear. Even during this time that we are going to politics, we ensure and we are committed that we are going to support all the aspirant and everybody who want to fight.
Reporting for the Catholic Focus Capuchin TV, I'm Susan Bulemi.
And that brings us to the end of Catholic Focus. Thank you for joining us and for making Capuchin TV part of your day. I'm Maureen Kimani, and our signed language interpreter has been Charity Ngema. May God bless you. Goodbye.
Keep watching Capuchin TV, your staunchly Catholic identity channel.